This video is for information purposes only. All yogic activities should be undertaken only at the advice of a qualified physician and solely at your own personal responsibility. Welcome to Breathe With Me by Ebony Yoga, where we focus on the breath. In this beginner series, inspired by Kemetic or ancient Egyptian yoga, we're linking the breath to a single pyramid posture. Pyramids are portals of power, and by breathing through them, we recognize their effects on our body's sacred geometry. This video's posture is child's pose, or balasana in Sanskrit, or pose of a child, or Masu Heru in Kemetic yoga. The suggested mantra to repeat silently to yourself as you breathe is rest is resistance. After a basic introduction to the pose, I'm going to offer you several modifications and cues. Keep what feels good to your body and leave the rest. Let's come to kneeling on your mat. Tops of the feet flat to the earth. Spread your knees as wide as the mat with the big toes touching. Now look down to see the triangle or pyramid space you've made between your legs. Now form a pyramid with your hands, a delta or a Rock Nation sign, by placing the tips of your index fingers and the tips of your thumbs together. Now place your pyramid in the center of your forehead or your third eye. Now bring your hands and your forehead down to the mat and your tailbone rests on your heels. Your spine is long here. Begin Rule of 4 breathing. Remember, that's an inhale, pause, exhale, pause, all out through the nose. So you might start by exhaling the stale air out through the mouth. The tip of the tongue goes to the back of the teeth, and then you inhale through the nose, pause, and exhale through the nose. Pause. Remember, as you breathe, the mantra you can repeat silently to yourself is rest is resistance. Now, if you feel uncomfortable, you might want to place a pillow or a blanket under your chest for support. You might even need some support underneath your head. So maybe that's a block, or maybe you extend your pillow and blanket underneath your head. If the knees wide is uncomfortable for you, then you can bring your knees together and do a tighter pose of a child. If your knees are feeling stressed on the earth, then you might place a blanket underneath your knees. If you find that you still have lots of space between your tailbone and your feet, you can put a blanket between the hips and the feet, and that might help you relax too. You might need a blanket between the hips and the feet, and you also might need a blanket underneath your chest and head. You could also place a block underneath your buttocks if that helps you feel more comfortable as well. If none of those modifications work, you can just stand on your knees with your knees wide apart or with your knees together. Remember, inhale, pause, exhale, pause. The mantra is rest is resistance. In this pose, we can release our glutes, stretch the lower back, stretch the quads, and lengthen the sides of the torso. We also get to open the tops of the feet. And perhaps as a whole body effect, you feel a calming reset. Pose of a child is often the place that we tell practitioners to go in yoga when they need to rest or when they need to reset the breath, which is why our mantra is rest is resistance to grind culture, to capitalist culture. Instead, we can just take a moment and breathe. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Rest is resistance. Whenever you feel ready, you can slowly rise up, release your pyramid, bring your hands down by your sides, and pause for a few moments to notice how you feel. Thank you for breathing with me.